It's not? We're live. Oh, what up, Rami? How you doing?
Oh, wait, let me have it. Back alive.
Okay. Rami's very concerned about you. Maybe reassure me. All the people out there are concerned about you.
Something to be concerned.
Your building. Concerned about it.
One of our good friends from this year lost his father last night. So Yeshua and I were in Yerushalayim. We were on the way to the Levaya, and then we got a call from the area that we have to come down.
At nighttime?
Yeah.
Motzei Shabbos?
The guy was whatever. He could only meet us last night.
And you went?
So we turned around and we went back. 10:20. Right, Yeshua? We're on the way to the Levaya. 10:20.
At the meeting.
Well, whatever. He thinks he has. He told me how I have to. Not solution. How we can continue and whatever.
We got good news in our shul.
How much
I'm gonna
money
give
do
you some
want?
water, please.
We've got good news in
No
our
money,
shul.
no bribes.
Eddie?
And if yes, I can't say it now.
Eddie, we've got good news in our shul.
What?
Jerseys,
Yeah.
it's been rescinded.
Really? They got rid of it?
The new base measures, we're going to have cups with names on it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'hakohen yeh b'dvaroi.
So that's good news.
Wow. A reach baleir. Pshi. Ah, what a simcha. Okay. So yesterday we were discussing that year right before bar mitzvah and bas mitzvah. What halacha does it have if the girl or boy have simonim? That year before, what's the halacha? So 2 lines down on Daf Mem Vav Amud Aleph. V'oid Masav Rebbe Zeiro. Ish ki yafli lindar neder. That pasuk. Oh, Bamidbar Vav it says here. Okay, there's another pasuk that has these exact words. Ki yafli lindar neder. Al Kaparim, what's going on here in this pasuk? Ish ki yafli lindar neder. Let's read the words. A man, ki yafli means he understands what he's saying. Lindar neder, to make a neder. So the pasuk is telling us 2 things here. Number 1, the pasuk is talking about an ish. He's already bar mitzvah. Ki yafli is talking about somebody that understands what he's saying. Now, somebody who's bar mitzvah doesn't need to understand what he's saying. So when it says he understands what he's saying, this is the concept, and from this pasuk we learn yafli mufla samach leish. There's a year right before bar mitzvah where you're mufla, you know how to articulate, you know how to explain yourself. You're like an ish. So it's ish and it's ki yafli. It's two separate halachas. Ki yafli lindar neder. Matam eloy mar ish. So what does mean ish? If a kid who knows how to articulate himself when he's 12, he can make a neder. So certainly somebody who's 13. The rabbi's ben shloishes shana v'yom echad shav bi she'einu yidei ela hafli. So it comes to tell us a situation where the guy is 13. He doesn't understand what he's saying. He says he doesn't know what a neder is, to who it is. Afal pikein, it's a good neder. Nidarev kayam. So what do we see from here? Hey chidami. So the Gemara develops its raya. If it's a 13-year-old without simanim, age means nothing. He's still considered halachically a katan. So it must be that he has 2 Cyrus and he's 13. Uh-oh, here comes Gary, the techno. What happened now?
It's too far back.
It's too far. You see, you need a remote control.
Low back.
Oh.
The remote control can't provide.
Wait, but this thing should be on. Oh, okay, now it's good. Is it giving you a battery? Yeah. Okay. Akoponim, what do we have here? We have a guy that has simonim, and he's 13. Everything is going good for him. He has the 2 things that are necessary, the years and the simonim. Who the havalayish? He is considered a man. What do you see from here? That anything less than these 2 things, 13 years old, with simonim, is nothing. So Mamela, it's a kasha on the Mandama that says that a year before, you don't need to be 13. You could be 12 as long as you have simanim. It's considered as if you're a gadol. for everything. You get a einish, you get malchus, all these things. It's not true. Over here, you see mefurish that in order to be considered a gadol, you need the combination of 13 plus simanim. Simanim alone is not enough. To Yufta, in fact, it's a good kasha. Omer of Nachman, kitanoi. So you have machlokes tanoi. Ben teisha shonim shevishti sarois. What does ben teisha shonim mean again, Rabbi Yisai? Again. Oh, who said that? Very good. Ben teisha means 8. What we call today 8. When a kid turns 1 year old, he has a 1 year birthday party. It means he completed his first year. He's already starting his second year. The Gemara calls that 2 years old. So ben teisha shanim. So fast forward 8 years. 9 means 8. Ben teisha shanim shevishti sarois shuma. Shuma just means it's not real hair. Shuma means like a wart. Sometimes on a wart hair grows. It's not a mole. It's not considered a siman. Mid ben teisha vet shtem shana. Don't use up your one time. Mid ben teisha vet shtem shana v'yom echad. From 9 years old until 12 v'yom echad. Oh, so 12 in 1 day is already 12 years old. What we call 12. Shuma. So again it says shuma, but only because there's a machlokes here. Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda Omer, siman. Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda says this is considered a siman. In other words, from 9 in a day until 12 in a day, it's a good siman. The Gemara is going to explain, provided that these simanim remain all the way into year 13, until after his bar mitzvah, and then it starts from the bar mitzvah. In other words, all Rabbi Yossi is saying is that hairs that grew earlier, we can use them later on after he's 13, but nothing in between.
Retroactively, he would be.
No, not retroactive. He's exactly not like that. You're not saying he's a gadol beforehand. You're just saying that it's a good siman beforehand. So today, when he's 13, he starts using these simanim.
It doesn't help you.
No, time out. I'll explain to you then. There's another shita that says that in order to have simanim, they need to grow completely after the kid turns 13.
He doesn't say you have to.
They both hold the same thing. It's from 13. You just don't need new ones. That's it. Ben shloishes ishon v'yom echad divrei hakol siman. In other words, Rabbi Yossi is also mechulik. But the first halacha that we said here, ben teisha shonim shevishti saris shuma. He doesn't argue on that. He admits that anything before 9 years old is nothing. The whole machlokes is from 9 years old until 13. How do we view those simanim? Tanakama says it's nothing, it's a mole. Rabbi Yossi says, I can use them after he's 13. They're not a mole. Hagufa kashu. Amris me ben teisha vet shtem eser shana v'yom echad shuma. So if you notice, this brisa skips 1 year completely. It has a halacha from 9 until 12. And from 13 on, what we call bar mitzvah on. But it doesn't discuss at all year 12. When a boy is 12 years old, what we call 12 is not discussed here at all. It says va'at shtei mesrei shana, until his 12th year, and then it jumps till shlosh esrei, to bar mitzvah. So what do we do that year? Ha shlosh esrei gufa, shlosh esrei meaning what? Rabbi said, what's shlosh esrei now? 12. Siman. You're telling me that from 9 to 12 is a mole, but from 12 to 13 is a good siman. And then it says from bar mitzvah on, it's a siman. Right? Your typical Gemara kasha. Since it doesn't mention year 12 to 13, and on the one hand it says everything before 12 is nothing, and everything after 13 is great, so it's a contradiction. The year 12 to 13, on the one hand seems like it's perfect, on the one hand it's nothing. So what do you do?
It's 12 in 1 day.
Add 12 in 1 day. Add to 12 in 1 day. Until 12 years old and 1 day. Until his birthday party on 12. But it doesn't mention from that day on, what do you do with that year? Says the Gemara, very interesting. Very rarely do you have tirutzim like this. 4 tirutzim, simple tirutzim, and they're all basically with the same theme. My lav tanoi, so l'chayra, this is a rayas machlokes tanoim. What do we do? This is exactly our question. What happens to year 12 of a bar mitzvah boy? Do we view it like bar mitzvah, or do we view it like an 11-year-old? What do we do with that year number 12? L'chayra over here, it's machlokes. The mar sova toich zman kil achar zman, or mar sova toich zman kil lefnei zman. One man holds that it's like kil achar zman after his bar mitzvah. The other man says it's like a 11-year-old. Loi the kuli al metoich zman kil lefnei zman. You could answer all these answers and say no. Everybody agrees that a 12-year-old is like an 11-year-old. In other words, what? It's nothing. V'idi b'tinoikes. We're talking about a girl, not a boy. Now, if you go back to the lashon of the brayso, it says ben shloishes rishon v'yom echad, mi ben teisha, ben teisha. Keeps on talking about a boy. Says Gemara lav dafka. I'm using like a generic word. It doesn't really mean. I'm not talking about. In the new building. No, right. There's a whole squeegee. No spill.
You'll get cold by the time.
There's a robot who cleans up coffee in the building.
Yeah. That's exactly what I said. Yeah. If the building happens.
What, Rabbi, spill?
How many of you think that we're going to be in the new building on Brachas Daf Beis? We have one person?
7 years from now.
3, 4 people. Gary. Okay, I like to see Gary say that. Gary's involved in the construction. He says we're in there. Okay.
Yes, not about the construction.
What about you? Do you think we're going to be in there, Brachas? So why didn't you raise your hand?
I raised mine. Yes, Rabbi. Brachas, here we come.
We're going to be in there, Brachas Daf Beis. I don't care what happens.
All right, climbing in.
We might all get arrested.
It's
like, they'll come in with the SWAT team. Brachas Daf Beis. Okay, Be'ezer Hashem. Don't lose faith. Don't lose faith. Rabbi say we have plenty of time. We built buildings I just read yesterday. Tesla built an entire plant in Shanghai in 168 days running. They're producing cars in 168 days. A plant. I think we could do a little shul, 90-meter shul.
Chinese people working for you, you can do it too.
That's what we'll bring. Whatever it takes, we will get in there.
They built the Great Wall of China.
Our first hotel, we did Pesach in a hotel in Chicago, a family hotel. This is 26 years ago. So Erev Pesach, my uncle calls up and says, we got a problem, we can't move in. So we all went down there, me, my wife, whoever was there, we started hanging pictures, schlepping furniture. We did it ourselves. Sometimes you have to bring in the, hint. You guys get your gloves on, we might have to go to work.
Okay, let's go.
Obviously, I'm not going to do it. I'm just to tell the Olam what to do, but fine. Zok the Gemara. The kuli al metoich zman ki lefnei zman. V'idi b'tinoikes. You hear this? We're talking about a girl, not a boy. All the ben, erase the fact that it says ben. V'reisha Rebbe v'sefer Reb Shimon ben Elazar. So whoever wasn't here last night, there's a tremendous chiddush here. Everybody takes for granted that a boy becomes bar mitzvah when he's 13 and a girl becomes bas mitzvah when she's 12.
Only if he has
And
virus.
yeah, obviously. There's Reb Shimon ben Elazar who holds the exact opposite. A boy becomes bar mitzvah when he's 12, a girl becomes bas mitzvah when she's 13, and the reason is because boys learn cheder, they have sharp minds. It's nature versus nurture, he says. It's not pshat that a boy is born smarter. Simply, he has training, he becomes more, whatever it is. Yosef said, is street smart, whatever it is. Anyways, akol panim, v'reisha Rebbe v'sefer Reb Shimon ben Elazar. You're asking me what happens we're talking about a girl. So what's the status of a girl in the age 12 to 13? Well, it depends. If you hold like Rebbe that a girl becomes bas mitzvah when she's 12, like we hold today, then it's a good neder. It's a good. Then it's yeah. What are we talking about here again? Shuma, not shuma. Then she's bas mitzvah. It's a good siman. But if it goes according to Reb Shimon ben Elazar, that a girl becomes bas mitzvah when she's 13, that's the diuk, that it's not good. It's not a good siman. So that's one teretz. And all 3 tirutzim are going to go in a similar kind of mahalach.
Does he argue that the Steifaras are Shuma at the age of 13 for a girl? Can't argue against nature. He's saying Shuma is bright, maybe. not educated.
Yeah, no.
But he's
No.
ignoring the Simonim?
No, because all it means is that if I'm at the age, what is my age? 12. So then the sires count. And if I'm not at the age and the sires don't count, then we view them as shuma. It's not a physical thing. Mole, not mole. There's no mole. I looked under my. There's no mole. It just means it's nothing. It's garbage. Yeah. And now you could just reverse the same teretz. Say we're talking about a boy. V'reisha Rabbi Shimon, and it goes according to Rabbi Shimon that says that a boy becomes bar mitzvah when he's 12, and therefore it's good. V'seifa Rabbi, and the seifa that says that the year 12 is not a siman because it goes according to Rabbi that a boy becomes a bar mitzvah when he's 13, and we're talking about a boy. V'boisei mahavaha Rabbi. Both of them are going according to Rebbe that a boy becomes bar mitzvah when he's 13. Ha-betinoik. Now, this is just a little interesting. There might be a girsa, difference in girsa, but you don't really have to change the girsa. You just have to change the order. Ha-betinoik, meaning we're jumping to the seifa now. The seifa that says that it's not a good siman is talking about a boy, because a boy is bar mitzvah when he's 13, and we're talking about age 12, so it's no good, the siman. Ha-betinoikes. And the reisha that says that it is a good siman, we're talking about a girl. It's a lot of arichas here, a lot of tirutzim, basically the same thing, same concept. It's both going according to Rabbi Shimon Lazar that says that a boy becomes bar mitzvah when he's 12. Habetinoik, what? The reisha. Over here now, habetinoik is talking about the reisha. Before tinoik means the seifa. Same thing. Habetinoik, this that you say that the siman is good is talking about a boy because he's bar mitzvah when 12. Habetinoikes, age 12, you're saying that the siman is no good because it's a girl. New sugya. Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Yehuda Omer siman. Omer Rabbi Cruz b'dai b'reider Rav Shabsai. V'hu shoydem boy. That's what we mentioned before. What does it mean the siman is a good siman? If he's bar mitzvah and he had sires since he's 9 years old and it's still there when he's 13, then we say it's a good siman and it's not shuma, it's not a mol. So nachamol. To repeat, because I was having a private discussion with Nachman, but I don't know if the whole oil was paying attention. If the Cyrus are there when he's 13, then the Cyrus work from that day on, from 13 on. We don't go retroactive to the day he got the Cyrus at age 9, 10, 11. Everything that happened then is nothing. If he ate chazer, we don't give him malchus. Just what? He developed those Cyrus on age 9, I can use them today at age 13. Versus Chachamim who hold, and that's how we hold today, by the way. Believe it or not, it's a little hard to understand. So he's saying that a kid became bar mitzvah today, and he gets up to dam for the Amid and Ma'ariv, we have to assume that right now, today, he got 2 new Cyrus. Because the Cyrus that he got yesterday are nothing for us.
So they should have to fall out.
Fall out, not fall out, but new ones. Develop new ones.
Has new ones.
No, brand new that were developed today. Brand new developed today. Maybe yes, maybe not. So we have a chazaka and we go weiter. We're not gonna. There's no derises.
That's why you don't let a bar mitzvah boy on his weed
laying. Exactly. The derises. Amalek. Yeah. What is it called again? Amalek. What do we call it?
Don't forget.
Only mafia.
Yes, give him some brachas. Give him haftarah that a 10-year-old could read. Fine. Omar, yeah. So just says this concept. You have a 9-year-old. What we call 9 years old, because it says here Ben Teisha Shonim v'yoyim echad. He already started his 10th year. She'evi shtei saris. Shuma. We consider it nothing. Ben Teisha vat 12 shana v'yoyim echad v'oidem boy. They're still there. Shuma, Rabbi Yehuda Siman. So here it says Mefurish. Chachamim considered it Shuma. Why? Because it grew at the wrong age. I don't care that today he's 13. Where did these simanim come from? From an age that is considered a mole. Omar Rava, Hilchasa, Toich Zman, Kilifnei Zman. So, Rava paskins that if a 12-year-old boy, for instance, has simanim, it's nothing. It's as if he's 11 years old. So Rav Shmuel Bar Zutra says the same thing. The idea is the same. That toich zman, kilifnei zman, anything that occurred beforehand, at the 12 years old, a year before bar mitzvah, is nothing. But he learns it from a different place. Ktano, kol shtei mesrei shana. What does shtei mesrei shana mean? When she's 11 years old. Mima'enes v'yileches. So what's miyun? If a girl is an orphan and her mother marries her off, or her brothers marry her off, and I just noticed Rashi, and I'm shocked a little bit that I don't think I knew this, but read it with me and you tell me what you think. Rashi says, the kitcha yiso, maybe it's going on a completely different sugi, I don't know, but Rashi here says, yisoima midas ima v'achel l'daita. That a yisoima is married off midas ima. Maybe I'm just confusing something with a different sugi. The kitcha toich zman. The kitchen toich zman. I thought Rashi is saying here that there's a difference between if the mother's mekadesh and the brother's mekadesh. That she needs to agree to her brother's marrying off, whereas
when she was 4 years old?
yeah.
What kind of agreement is that? She's 4.
Well, the point is that we don't want her to be promiscuous, so we marry her off. We get her. It's to prevent any issues. Midaraisa only a father. I know it's not going on there, but it just says it. It says it in that kind of context. But anyways, okay, I have to look at it again. So ignore that for now. A girl could be married off by her father midaraisa, but if she doesn't have a father, her mother and her brothers marry her off. Now, the halacha is that she could just say, "I don't want to be married." Finished. End of the day. No get, nothing. She says the words, "I don't want to be here. I hate this guy." She's out of there. Up until she's bas mitzvah, 12. But from that point on, and she agreed, and he's married to her, then the kiddushin is chal midaraisa. How? He's kind of a bibia. So it says, Ktana kol shtem esrei when she's 11 years old, mima'enes v'yileches. Okay, because she's not 12, so she could still do miyun. What about before shtem esrei? What about when she's 10, 9, 8? Of course she could do miyun. Even when she's 11. 11 is bad. She's already getting close to the bad age. The age of where she can't do it anymore. Mima'enes v'yileches. And we're not concerned, maybe there are shtei sairas. Maybe she has simanim. She's 11 years old. She's in that year, the controversial year, that year 11, that the year right before bas mitzvah. What do we do? Maybe she has sairas. No, we're not concerned. She could do miyun. Mekan ve'elach eino mima'enes ve'eino chiletzes. So from that point on, she can't do miyum because she's already bas mitzvah. She's already gdoila. The eino choletzes is talking about a different case. This is talking about a doiraisa case. If a father married her off, so now she midaraisa is roi liyibum, and she's 12 years old. So now that's it. She can't do chalitza. Why? We don't know. Maybe she doesn't have simanim. Maybe she does. We're talking about deraisis, right? Like the guy laning Parshas Zachar. You can't just, she for sure has siman. We have to know. Hagu fakashia.
If the mother married her off,
Yeah.
and the husband dies, does she have to do chalitza ever? It's only a midrabanan marriage.
No. So that's why I said mefurish. In a deraisidic marriage.
It's only if the father married her off.
Yeah. Well, if she remained married to the guy after she was 12, then it became a deraisa, and that's a different story. If we know that there was bia and everything afterwards.
Until she gets to this age, she can't do chalitza.
And it's referring to a deraisidic marriage. Hagu v'kashia. Time. B'vakasha. Shkoyach. It's a hard sugi. Hagu v'kashia. It's a Motzei Shabbos preparation going to Levaya to Yerushalayim sugi. Hagufia, Yitzchak Fein. I didn't say his name? No. Oh, sorry. Yitzchak Fein, the Hasidic guy, the guy with the payas. He used to come a lot during the day. Now he's in the night chair.
Okay. So his father?
His father had a surgery, some sort of surgery, and during the surgery, they didn't realize, and then they tried to wake him up, and they couldn't wake him up, so they let him sleep a little bit more, and then only afterwards they realized he had a stroke, but it was way past that not resuscitation, but the point of that you could, What is it called?
Golden hour?
Golden hour.
That's like it.
So his 13 siblings flew in from America, and they were all here, and he was nifter, I think, yesterday. Levi was at 10:30, and that's what it says. Yeshua and I were in the car in Yerushalayim at 10:20. We could have almost made it. We had to turn around. All right. Hogu v'gashim. Amrus einam emanis. Al mogdoilehi. You're telling me there's no miyun. Why is there no miyun? Because the miyun only works for a ktana. So if you tell me she can't do miyun, that means that you hold that she's a gdoila. Al magdoili. Igdoili tachloitz. So we have a problem. Miyun doesn't work for a ktana, and chalitza only works for gdoila. So what is she? Is she a ktana or gdoila? Make up your mind. So you'll tell me, you'll try to get out of it. You'll say, we're dealing with a suffix here. And because there's a suffix, you can't do miyun, you can't do chalitza. So Rava has a big chazaka. The chazaka of Rava that says that a girl, once she gets to be the age, you don't have to do a bdika. Chazaka yevi simanim, right? That's why the boy gets up for the amud, he lanes, whatever. Chazaka yevi simanim. Hanamili bistama. Avalacha the batku v'layashkuchalai. Over here we're talking about a situation where they did a bdika and they didn't find. So memela, I don't have the chazaka. Fakert, I have the opposite of a chazaka. I have a reason to believe that she doesn't have simanim. But nevertheless, she can't do miyun because maybe she had simanim, they fell out. Michael and Mayma at the end of the day, let her do miyun. Nachamol, we're talking about a girl that they did a bdika and there's no simanim. And you, according to this mandama hold, we're not concerned that maybe they fell out. So let her do miyun. Papa Omar, we're not concerned. Who's Rav Papa? Rava is the Talmud. He's going in Rava here. Ein chosheshim. Rav Papa Omar chosheshim. Hanimili in chalitza. Right? It makes it much stronger. I mean, it's not 100%, but it makes sense logically that Rav Papa is not going to be mechulek on his own Rebbe. And what? Oh, for that reason, probably. Exactly for that reason. Why? Maybe because I think Rashi points out here that, as the Gemara is going to say later, when it comes to miyun, it could flip into a doiraisa. Because once he's with her, then and she's 12, now she becomes a doiraisa of marriage, and miyun doesn't work anymore. Now, you're telling me that according to the mandama that we're concerned that maybe the simanim fell off, you do chalitza, v'choshishim ba'al makomar. He was still saying choshesh. He wasn't saying that you go mamish midaraisa, that you vada, you do it. Ela loilam, says the Gemara, the loy batku. No, they didn't check. So if they didn't check, Rava says there's a chazaka. Ule'in chalitza chayshinon. So we have to be choishesh. They didn't do bdika. You have to be choishesh that maybe they're not there. In other words, you cannot do miyun. Right? Rava says the chazaka that maybe she has simanim, and therefore, what does lemiyun mean? And you should not be able to do miyun because if she's a gdoila, you can't do miyun. Aval chalitza boy bdika. Chalitza, you need to do a bdika. Amar avdimi min arda hilchasa chosheshim shema nashru. At the end of the day, we have to be choshesh. Perhaps they were there and they're gone. And therefore, what? You can't do miyun. And this is if there was kiddushin when she was a ktana. And if he was boiler lachazman, so now it just became dikas feka deraisa. Now he's mekadosh again mideraisa. But if he never was boiler afterwards, so the kiddushin is only the rabbanon. So what do we have tachlis here?
She can be married.
She could do miyun.
So miyun, all I have here is like this. Miyun, when she's 12 years old, and she has Cyrus, of course he can't do. That everybody agrees. If she has Cyrus, he can't do miyun. If we don't know, it's also asur. If they checked her and they found that there's nothing, asur. We have to be chayshish. But this last case that we just said, if we know for a fact that he wasn't with her after she was 12 years old, then she could do miyun. Then she could do miyun. If we know for a fact, then she could do miyun. Fight. What about chalitza? If she's 12 years old and she has two sires, 100% she could do chalitza. If we don't know if she has two sires, there's no chalitza. And if she doesn't have two sires also, what?
How do we leave off with the 3-year-olds? Let's talk about 3-year-olds.
We weren't discussing 3-year-old today.
I know, but I'm saying it's a halakha.
Now you just want to confuse me? I told you, today is Sunday.
I'm also confused. That's not
Okay, we'll discuss it afterwards. It's not today's sugya. It's today's sugya or what? What do you? Yesterday's sugya.
Shabbos.
Okay.
Same thing.
Okay. Let me do chazara. Let me do chazara on the rules. Daf Yomi works like this.
10 minutes. Today is chazar.
You're not allowed to go into tomorrow's daf. That's Issa D'Oraisa. That's the Raisa. To go back to yesterday's daf is Issa D'Rabbanan. And if you don't know if it's yesterday's daf or today's daf, you have to be choishish and you don't go there. Omer Avuna, Higdish. And if you weren't at yesterday's shir, listening, it's a valid point. Since I can't prove it, and neither can you.
Learned before yesterday.
Omer Avuna. Okay, well, let's move. We only have 10 minutes for Daf Amud Beis. It's a little bit more than usual, but this is a hard one. Omer Avuna Higdish V'Acha Loika. You have this kid who's 12 years old. He's before bar mitzvah. He's a 12-year-old boy, a year before his bar mitzvah. He said this should be hegdish. And then a minute later he says, you know what, I don't care what I said, I'm going to eat hegdish. Loika, he gets malchus, shenemar ish ki yafli lindor. V'liyachal devaroi, he shouldn't break his shvuah, his words. It's a different pasuk, obviously, but it says ish kiyafli, and we're talking about mufla samach ish, that year that he has the ability to make a neder, and hekdesh is a sort of a neder. He's not allowed to break his word. Earlier than that, we have a raya here to Rav Huna. The Torah says that a katan is like a gadol when it comes to a shvuah, ule isar, ule bal yachel. So how do you read this? Ule isar, ule bal yachel. Two, if somebody says this bread is an isar, right? Like Erev Rosh Hashanah, we said isar koinam shamta. There's all these lashonas. One of them is an isar. Ule bal yachel. Yochel yechayav al hekdeshay karban. Maybe if he's over me'ila, he should be chayav a karban. Tamaloymar zeh hadavar. Only for a shvuah, for isur, but not for a korban. You notice the vav here. There's an isur and the bal yachal. If he breaks his word, he's over on the shvuah, he's chayiv. Oh, so you see that he's chayiv malchus. Chayiv malchus it says here. Chayiv. It says the Gemara Ema li isur bal yachal. Very interesting. Perhaps the Torah is telling me there's a Isur Bal Yachal. Not Isar, Isur. There's an Isur of Bal Yachal. In other words, what does that mean? There's an Isur. There's an Isur, but minus the punishment. This boy is over Isur, but he doesn't get punished. In fact, the Gemara, Isur Bal Yachal Manavshach. What's going on here? How old is he? What are we dealing with? If he is 12 years old, and he has a halachically we view him as a 13-year-old, so he should get malchus like any 13-year-old. If you tell me that this 12-year-old boy, it's a joke. It's maybe the Rabbanan, not the Raisa. Isanami like so then he shouldn't have an Isser. So what's going on here? If you view him as a gadol, he should get malchus. If you view him as a katan, there shouldn't be an Isser. How can you have something in between? No. Isur. Actually, I think we might have once had something like that, but not for a katan given malchus. Zok the Gemara, we're not talking about him himself. You hear this chiddush? We're talking about his parents, people that are in charge of him, the apitropos, whoever is in charge of him, not to do isurim. If he does the isur, they're going to get malchus. As the Gemara, it's a question mark. That's a whole sugi in Yavamas. Why are we getting into it? Rashi says it's a sugi in Yavamas. Do the parents, are they mechuyev to midiraisa to be mafreshim, not mafreshim? Could you give a father malchus because he was negligent and he let him eat nevela? But why are we going into it? And if it's true that you give the father malchus because he wasn't mafresh, so the Gemara in Yavamas should have brought this Gemara. Says the Gemara, is his hegdish strong enough to make another gadol be over and bring a carbon? So what does it mean that the chayiv? We want to blame the other guy, but it says he's chayiv. But there's a man that says that the other guy is never chayiv. What happens if the katan is magdish and somebody else came along and took away from hegdish? Akoponim is a man that says ein loikim, which is Rav Kahana. So the Gemara midrabanon ukro asmachta ba'alma. You're right. It doesn't mean that he gets malchus. It means midrabanon, and he just brings a pasuk. The only problem is that we have to understand how carbon fits in here. How do you bring a carbon midrabanon? Levi, that you'll agree to me, and nobody brings a carbon midrabanon. Maybe malchus midrabanon. Maybe I forgot what the case was. Sounds familiar.
If it's this, then it turns out it'll be a korban.
No, that's the Raisa kind of thing. You can't.
The katan's never chayav for any of them.
Well,
And then on Shabbos would never bring a carbon on him either.
well, that's what we're discussing. Mufla samach le'ish. Certain things a katan is chayav. If he's 12 years old, like on a shvua, like on this, he's chayav. Question is on hegdish. Gufa hegdish v'achla acher. What happens if the katan made hegdish? Is it strong enough that we consider it hegdish gomor, that if an adult ate it, he's chayav a carbon? Rav Kahana omein loikin, Rav Yochanan v'shlokish damer tavai loikin. B'maikom miflagi. Mar somar mufla samach lish doiraisa. He has a halacha of a gadol midoiraisa. Mar somar mufla samach lish derabanan. Maser Rav Yirmiyah. Yisoyma shenadra. What kind of yisoyma we're talking about? We're talking about a ketana who is only married midirabanan. Not that her father married her off. Her brothers married her off. Bala mefarlo. She makes a neder. Her husband comes along and can undo the neder. Now the Gemara has a beautiful kasha. If you're telling me that it's a halach midirabanan, also nesun derabanan, you take a shvacha marriage, or about the nidirabanan. He's only married midirabanan. The brothers married her off. It's not a deraisa marriage. So the rabbanan guy could get rid of the rabbanan neder. Eli Amos doiraisa. Also nesun derabanan umevadli nidiraisa. If she has a halacha like a doiraisa, like a gdoila, if a mufla samachalish, you're talking about an 11-year-old girl who made a neder, and you view it as if she's 12 years old. So now it's a doiraisa neder. How could a rabbanan husband get rid of a doiraisa neder? It's a little bit hard to understand this line. He could be made for it. Why? Either rabbanon, if she's considered only 11-year-old the rabbanon. So he's the rabbanon guy, she's the rabbanon neder, and it works. Either raisa, and if you hold that she has halacha the raisa, katan oichel nevelasu. So at the end of the day, she does whatever she wants. So he'll be made for the neder. He doesn't care. You're right, it doesn't work. It's hard to understand exactly what the Gemara means here. So why is he doing it then? It means that it works.
How does the answer of the Gemara?
Right. That's what I'm telling you. It's a little problematic. It's saying that he should do it. It's saying he should do it, and nothing can go wrong, because either it will work because it's the Rabbanon, or it won't work and we don't care.
But her native is a real native.
So let her be a neder. She's allowed to do whatever she wants. She's 11 years old. She can make nidarim.
That's what we don't really care because she's a kid.
We're not gonna. She's a kid. She made a neder in Shalom Yisrael.
Yeah.
But there is a problem. What's the problem? But she's going to think in her head that her Durabanan husband annulled it. And it's gone. It flew away. And then she swore that she's never going to eat chocolate again. And her husband said, "Shtuyot v'avalim," and don't worry about it, you could eat. So when she becomes 12 years old,
Should be no connection between as a kid and
no, but in her mind, she thinks her husband took care of it. She knows the halacha. No, but we said that he can't take care of it because he's the Rabbanan
It has
husband.
nothing to do with what you did.
No, it does. She made a neder and it works.
She was admitted as a kid.
But maybe it's the Eraisa. No, it's the Eraisa. On the tzad, that's the Eraisa, and he's the Rabbanan husband, and he has no shaykhs to her. So he said, who cares? She's a kid. But it's a problem because she's going to be fooled to thinking that he was mevatalit, and then she's going to be go over on her own neder. Yeah, on the tzad, that is the Eraisa. As an 11-year-old. As muflas amaglish. Once he's married to her Doraisa, now he turns into Doraisa, and now he has the ability to be made for her Doraisa. Wait a minute, that doesn't work. He wasn't married to her then. It was only the Rabbanon. And the halacha is that if a girl comes into a marriage with an existing neder, you can't just get married to a guy and say, okay, now we're married, now annul my neder. It doesn't work like that. Says the Gemara, it does work like that. Here. This is different. She was married to him before, so Mamela, when she did it, it was just a Rabbanan marriage, but when she made the neder, she thought about her husband. It's different than when she was single and she made a neder, that a new husband can't come along and be mefer. Let's try to. No, it says not. It says kol shah v'shah, every year, every hour. Let's wait until Nidarim. What? Yeah. That's a different problem. So she has to go to Chacham. We have 1 minute, we have 0 minutes. We're down to 8 o'clock. He can't do any truma because it's like a neder. Again, we're talking about the year before. Honest Nidarim is when we could do Nidarim. So by a boy, 12 years old. But when he's 12 years old, he could do truma. Ezra, he holds that Ezra, when he was Mekadesh, when he came and he conquered forever. So Mamela, even though the Beis Hamikdash was Nechrav, you have to do truma. Since he's 12 years old, and 12 years old is considered like a deraisa, and the chiyuv of truma is deraisa bisman hazeh in Eretz Yisrael. So since he has a deraisa, he could do it. Eli the Rabbanon, you hold that a 12-year-old only has halach the Rabbanon, osigavi the Rabbanon metakin tivul the deraisa. How could he make something like that? How could he fix food? Loi, kasaver b'yosi truma bisman hazeh the Rabbanon. He holds it the Rabbanon. And Mela, the Rabbanon boy can make truma the Rabbanon. The Gemara, v'saver Rabbi Yosi truma b'zman hazeh the Rabbanon. Well, Tanya b'seder olam. Who authored Seder Olam? Rabbi Yosi, and it says over there, Asher Yarshav v'secha v'yirishta. Yerusha Rishayna, meaning the conquering of Yeshua, Ushniya, the conquering of Ezra. Yesh lahem, Shlisha sein lahem. V'amar Rabbi Yochanan, that Rabbi Yosi holds that it. Hold on, it says v'saver Rabbi Yosi truma b'zman hazeh the Rabbanon. In other words, he holds that it's the right, so that you don't have to conquer the third time. He says, Mefurish, loss of love when Mashiach comes, no need to conquer. Why? Because the conquering of Ezra lasts forever. So why are you telling me that's the Rabbanon? It's the Reis of his man as a Truma Zechiv, the Reis according to Rabbi Yossi. Says the Gemara, Rabbi Yossi Tanei, he authored it, V'lo Savar Adkan. You could write something, it doesn't necessarily mean that he holds of everything he wrote. He took things from other Tanaim and he put it in there. Have a Gavalika day. Tonight, if you missed today's shir, or you didn't know it's flying, 9:20. No, I don't. No. Tonight is different.
Are there more countries than mine?
Here, hit me up, please. What?
Are there more countries than mine?
No, it's a different matzah.
You're telling us something much better than that place.